I recently got called out as being an asshole because I refused to work with a particular athlete. Let me explain a little bit about why I refused to work with him. If you have followed me for any period of time, you know I'm a big advocate of self-responsibility and accountability. Everybody here on my staff recognizes that our goal as a company is to get as much information and as much knowledge into the hands of as many people as we possibly can. That's why I love YouTube. We can get it out to literally tens of thousands of people in a very short period of time. Unfortunately, the internet is full of a lot of misinformation. So what happens is people have a tendency to follow so-called experts only to get themselves injured or get themselves run down, get themselves exhausted physically and or mentally. I had an individual who I worked with for quite a bit of time. I had him from a very young age, and we worked up over the course of 4 to 5 years, and the athlete did a great job, put a lot of sweat equity in, and enjoyed a tremendous amount of success. Well, particularly in my business here in the world of physiology, what happens is athletes of all ages enjoy knowledge initially because the results and the return on the investment usually yields a very big improvement just based on consistency and stacking of knowledge. But here's where it took an interesting twist. For some reason, there's individuals out there that feel like, okay, I've heard it before, so now I know it all, not recognizing that human physiology continues to grow as you mature as an athlete. So what ended up happening here was this individual ran into a description that I refer to as too cool for school. The education got him to where he wanted to be, tremendous amount of success. And then when the success came, his head got as big as just absolutely one of the biggest boneheads I've ever dealt with. Huge ego, huge attitude. And my point of why I call it too cool for school is you like what got you to where you're at, but now you're too cool to listen anymore. And because you've been listening to my voice for 4 or 5 years, you're tired of hearing it. So the interesting and the ironic twist that I got called the asshole was this individual, we decided to part ways because I got tired of negotiating every single day. I'm not here to try to beg somebody to become successful. I'm just trying to give you the Cliff Note version on how to get from where you're at to where you want to be in the safest, healthiest, and most sustainable way. This individual, we decided to part ways. Again, a little too cool for school for me. About a year after we parted ways, the wheels fell off the bus. So this individual and his parents called me up and asked if we would resume working together, and I said no, and hence I was called the asshole. Now, the interesting part about this whole conversation is stop and put yourself on my side of the equation. Me and my staff, we do everything we can. We pour into each and every one of our clients. We see the progress that you've made. So think about this. We talk about it, you implement it, you get the good results, and then you choose to not do what you have been doing that's produced the great results. You decide that you don't want to listen anymore, so you decide to part ways. You go and you end up ruining yourself under the tutelage of somebody else. And now you come back and you want me and my team to give up current time and resources to try to fix what you proactively took apart. You obliterated all the progress that you've made. With this particular individual, if you guys have followed me for any period of time, you know I'm a big advocate of balancing aerobic to anaerobic work because of oxidative stress and all the negative side effects associated with high intensity interval training. Do we implement it? Absolutely, but we are very specific on how much the athlete can absorb to make sure that they don't ruin their adrenal system. And that's exactly what this individual did. He went to another program, ran himself into the ground, comes back, and then he wants me and my team to try to undo what he screwed up. We don't hold a vendetta. We are not, we don't hold a grudge whatsoever. But what we won't do is give up the opportunity to work with new clients who have a willingness and a desire to learn, a willingness to apply it, particularly those that are willing year over year over year over year. They understand the compound benefits of knowledge. That's where we want to continue to share our time and resources with. If we've been able to validate the success, right? We give you a concept, you implement it, we give you training parameters, you follow them, and you get tremendous results, right? You can look in the rearview mirror and see what you've done to get where you're at. Well, as far as I'm concerned, we've earned your trust. We've proven and validated that what we do works. And then when you choose to go another direction and then you want us to put back the pieces that have been obliterated, I don't think that is a fair and balanced ask on your behalf. So I wanted to do this video not for any other reason than to try to get you to change your perspective on and it's whether you're working with us or not. That's not what the focus of this video is. My focus of this video is, do you understand how you got to where you're at, whether that's a positive or a negative situation? If you're craving simple sugars, if you have night sweats, if you're exhausted and you can't sleep, if you have low sex drive, if you're finding that easy workouts are progressively harder, if you're not enjoying what you do anymore, if you're not seeing incremental improvements, how many more variables do you need to get your attention? And with all of our clients, I always say it this way: do you understand why and how you've achieved the incremental improvements that you've enjoyed over the last 18 to 24 months? If yes, keep doing them. Let's build on them. But please don't fall complacent, don't become arrogant, and don't get a big head. Because unfortunately, when people see you becoming cocky and arrogant and you crash and burn, people have a tendency to enjoy it. Not so much from my standpoint as a physiologist, but your competition is what I'm saying. So, wanted to clarify, I don't consider myself an asshole. I like to preserve the time and the resources of my staff, myself, and I really love when we get a chance to work with clients who see and want the long game. We'll give as much information and spend as much time as necessary for you to understand the concepts. But if you feel like somebody has done you wrong, ask yourself, is it because you brought it upon yourself? Are you taking an active role and a responsibility for where you're at? That's what I want to leave you with. If you happen to have any questions about this subject or anything that we've ever talked about, please do me a favor and send us an email, contact@coachrobb.com. If you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, turn on the notifications because we put a new video out each and every day, and we hope to see you tomorrow.